Music has been a companion throughout my life, through troubled times, through good times. It's been there always, and it's been, for me, a very therapeutic savior. Maybe it just is everything. Music probably is just everything to me. It's a very, very powerful emotional tool. I say DJing is basically translating. The crowd feeds you something that you then translate into something that you feed back. It's a never-ending circle of emotions being pushed back and forward. The feedback from the crowd, the connection with the crowd, that's what we all live for. It gives me a lot of confidence to know that the equipment that I have available to me is something that I know in and out. It has to be second nature to me. And I guess it's comparable to a guitarist picking up his guitar that he's played with for the last 25 years. It's the same weight, the buttons are where you want them to be, the strings are the same, and this goes for DJ equipment as well. I'm not one for experimenting a lot when I start performing because I'm just so frightened of the failure of it. Too many ways it could go wrong. And that goes for both equipment, but also for how I use it. I think the reason why the CDJ is the industry standard is because it's proven itself over the last, 20 years nearly now. Since it first arrived on the scene until now, there's been a constant development, but the basic architecture has stayed the same. So you get used to something and you stick to that. And it's proven itself to work in all situations, and it's never broken down on me. The new CDJ is incredible. I mean, it's bigger, it feels more sturdy, the screen is bigger, obviously. Well, the platter on the new CDJ has a completely different feel to it, and I think the adjustability is much more sensitive. I personally like to keep the platters a little harder in the feel, because it reminds me of turntables. But you can adjust it as you want. The first inklings of new designs I saw were drawings, which goes even a couple of years back, I think. I've actually not been involved in technology planning like this before. I thought it was an amazing opportunity to be part of something like that, because we're the ones using the products in the end. I mean, I think people that are professionals have a completely different vision of what is important and what isn't. I think I have to remember that these are things that I'm going to be performing with, so I really would want them to function as best as possible for my needs. I have all my music in different sections, be it warm-up, be it early warm-up, be it peak time. It is super important for me. And the reason is that I need to know what it is I'm doing. I have to be prepared for any situation. If I have the track listings and I know where to find everything, it makes it so much easier for me. I usually sort it in energy levels. So it would be compression of the track, tempo of the track, how melodic the track is, in which situation I'd be able to play it. Other than that, I have a lot of it sorted in key. I like playing in key. It's important for me that this transitions between the music is seamless, or seamless when I want it to be seamless, but also energetic when I want it to be energetic. It's different types of mixing. So key shift, it's extremely important for me. I play quite melodic music, and there's nothing worse than having two tracks not being in key, being mixed together. It doesn't sound right. It's a thing that I've been wanting pretty much since I started DJing from early on. And now it's a thing you can actually do in the CDJ. You can choose the key and switch it as you want. It will then pitch up and down to whichever root key you want that would fit with what you're mixing it into. The key shifting technology, the way it sounds, is really, really good. A lot of times if you do it in a DAW and a software, it will sound a bit weird. A lot of times it will take out a lot of the attack of the music as well. So it's not always been ideal, but in this case, it actually sounds really good. I definitely see that manual key shift could be super interesting. Let's say you're experimenting around, you have different loops running, you're trying to come up with something new, and you could take an a cappella, pitch it down, let's say 12 cents, Or you can take drums, pitch them up or down, and it could create something completely different. It could be fascinating to work with. When the link would break or be removed, the CDJ would go into emergency loop mode. What happens now if the link cable is disengaged or the USB is pulled out is that the CDJ has loaded the whole track so that it will play the track as intended, not as an emergency loop. Also, if the link is then reconnected or the USB is plugged back in, the CDJ will recognize where it played to and you can continue as if nothing happened. Every performance is different and every performance deserves a different experience. And that is very dependent on the crowd and the situation.